Hello everyone, my name is Chijoke Adibema, and today we're going to be talking about database replication. Data replication is a way of supporting data integration criteria. Replication allows to maintain same database multiple copies at different locations. Log shipping and mirroring allows to maintain complete database redundancy, whereas replication allows to maintain some part of the database at user locations. Changes made at different user locations are synchronized to the main server. It is object level availability feature. Replication is a set of technologies for copying and distributing data and database objects from one database to another and then synchronizing them between databases to maintain consistency. The result of data replication is a distributed database in which users can access data relevant to their task without interfering with the work of others. Purposes of distributed data is for prevention of redundancy, like we mentioned earlier, to improve site independence, to minimize networking costs, to substantially improve response time to requests. Common terminologies and components of replication. First, we have publisher. The publisher is a source of database where replication starts. It makes data available for replication. Articles are the actual database objects included in replication, like tables, views, and indices. Publication are a group of articles called publication, obviously. An article can be distributed individually. Distributor. The distributor is an intermediary between publisher and the subscriber. It receives published transactions or snapshots and then stores and forwards these publications to the subscriber. It has 6 systems database including distribution. The subscriber is the destination database where the replication ends. It can subscribe to multiple publications from multiple publishers. The term subscription. This is the information needed to order a publication from the publisher. It is a request by the publisher to receive a publication. We have 2 types of subscriptions. We have the push subscription and we have the pull subscription. The push subscription, with this subscription, the publisher is responsible for updating or changes to the subscriber without the subscriber asking for those changes. But for the pull subscription, the subscriber initiates the replication instead of the publisher. The push subscription is created at the publisher server, while the pull subscription is created in the subscriber server. We have 3 types of replication. We have the snapshot replication, which is a process where an entire set of data is replicated. And we have the merging replication, which is a process that starts from a snapshot replication procedure and proceeds to each database, updating separately until the databases are sorted by the differences and transferred. And thirdly, we have the transactional replication. This process starts from a snapshot replication. Over time, it replicates only the chain data. And today, we're going to be paying much attention to the first type of replication, which is the snapshot replication. Like we all know, this process is usually used to provide the first set of data and the database objects used for subsequent transactional and merger publication. It replicates the evenly distributed data and database objects as they appear at the time. Okay. The process of replicating data with the snapshot procedure is as follows. For example, if a sales organization maintains a product price list and the prices are all updated at the same time once or twice each year, replicating the entire snapshot of data after it has changed is recommended. Firstly, the snapshot agent establishes a connection from the distributor to the publisher and generates fresh snapshots into the snapshot folder by placing locks. The snapshot agent writes copy of the table schematics for each article. It copies data from the published table at the publisher and writes data to the snapshot folder in the form of .bcp file. The first thing we have to do is configure the distributor, which is shown in this table. The distributor lies at the core of the transactional replication. It must be available when you set up the other component, so you need to configure it first, although the distributor can reside on its own SQL Server instance. We will be setting up a snapshot replication between two SQL servers using SQL Server 2012. The primary focus is to set up 3 different rows or components. The first row is a subscriber row, where the database pulls data from, and the publisher row, which is the source data, and the subscriber, the destination data. And thirdly, we have the distributor row, which acts as the server that executes all the application commands and takes the data from the publisher and transfers it to the subscriber. The following steps walk you through the process of creating a distributor. First, you open the SSMS and connect to the SQL Server instance you want to use. In the Object Explorer, right-click the replication folder listed beneath the server and click Configure Distribution as shown in the figure below. As soon as you select the Configure Distribution, it launches the Configure Distribution wizard. After clicking this is the next screen that will be displayed. The Configure Distribution wizard has 2 purposes. First, it lets you set up an SQL Server instance to be a distributor. Second, it lets you select an existing distributor to be used when setting up a publisher. When using the local distributor model, these 2 steps occur with one execution of the wizard. On the distributor page, you can choose to set up the current instance to be a distributor or select another instance that's already been configured as a distributor. So these are just the processes, and well, most of it is quite self-explanatory. So as you can see on the snapshot folder page, you specify the location for the snapshot folder. The snapshot folder is used during the initial synchronization of the transactional replication and needs to be large enough to hold all replicated data. You can place the snapshot folder in any location on your machine or your network. For performance reasons, it makes sense to create a network share on the distributor. When you set up a snapshot folder, you must also ensure that the appropriate rights have been granted to that folder. To keep this example simple, simply grant write access to the authenticated users, the users group as shown in the figure below. Note, however, that this approach is not a recommended security best practice, and you should grant this access only for the purposes of these exercises. So to create a subscription, you go to the publisher and click on Replication, select local publication, right click on SSI SDBSP for the new subscription, select next, select the publication name, select next, and select push subscription. And as soon as you do that, you select next and select add subscriber, select third instance, and so on and so forth. It's an elaborate system, but usually it's just self-explanatory. So with that, I know this is just a brief tutorial, but I guess you can always get more material concerning this at the references. And so with this, I appreciate your listening to this brief tutorials, and hopefully you found it useful, and you can always go to the sites and you see additional information on how to replicate data. Thank you very much.